Hey gamers, Maniac here with GameAccess.net, talking about something that I have been waiting to talk about for almost 2 years now. Free RPG Day. For those of you who don't know, Free RPG Day is a day kind of like Free Comic Book Day, where if you go to a specially participating RPG or hobby store, you can come in and get a cool free gift, as long as this store still has any. Depends upon the store about what they may be willing to offer, but for the most part there's usually a good smattering of stuff from all different types of the RPG genre, you know, dice or notes or quick start guides, that sort of thing basically. And I really want to talk about my experiences doing this because I have been wanting to participate in Free RPG Day for 2 years now. I first heard about it when the Spoonie One talked about Free RPG Day back in 2014. I missed last year's because I couldn't make it to a hobby store that was participating that was very close. The only hobby stores that were participating in my state were on the opposite sides of the state where I lived. And I simply just couldn't drive out to get to them. I didn't have the ability to. So this year, thankfully, a hobby store a bit closer where I live decided to participate, that they would be participating in Free RPG Day. And this place in particular was recommended to me. Here's their bag. This is your Friendly Neighborhood Tabletop Shop. Tabletop-shop.com. These guys aren't too far away from where I live, and they were participating in Free RPG Day. And let me tell you something, this was a great place to go. Oh my God. For those of you who might have checked my Twitter, @Maniac536, from last weekend, you would have probably noticed a whole bunch of cool stuff that are a bunch of cool pictures that I had taken of the day. But now, most stores participating in Free RPG Day, they kind of divvy out the goods, the free goodies, basically on their own discretion. And but for the most part, they basically say you can take one thing, but that's it. You can basically just take one thing. And one of the most anticipated things, basically, that a lot of people really took, this caught my eye, I picked this up myself, a lot of other people did. This was the Valiant Universe RPG Quick Start Rules Guide. For those of you who are interested in comic books and stuff like that, you might be familiar with the Valiant brand. Exo, Man of War, and the like, basically. Valiant is back, from what I heard, and they're kind of checking out a whole new renaissance. And they offered this quick start guide, and it's a beautiful quick start guide. I mean, look at this. It's got some great art. It's in color. Not all the quick start guides were in color. So myself and a couple of other people at the tabletop shop actually did check it out, and that was a pretty anticipated and pretty popular goodie to give out for that day. They were also giving away 20-sided dice from Chessex, I think, was making them. They also were giving away marked pencils, other cool stuff. There was a T-shirt being given away. There was one thing. Tabletop Shop actually gave away certain stuff on a raffle, and I actually won one in a raffle. And I actually won this. This is a unique made 20-sided dice. 6-sided dice. That's branded 10th Annual RPG Day. My God, have there been 10 of them? Really? That's amazing. I had no idea I had no idea this was something that was going on until like 2 years. Like I said, 2 years ago, I had no idea RPG Day was a thing. But I was really excited about it because, and this is the story that I kind of want to tell you, I actually played my first ever pen and paper RPG. I know, I was surprised too. The tabletop shop was actually hosting demos and free games and tournaments. They had the facilities. They had tons of tables all set up all day long. And I got there really early because, like with Free Comic Book Day, I figured this good stuff is probably going to go quick. So you want to get in there early and get what you can get your hands on. But there were plenty of people at the tabletop shop that were there. And even though they didn't know me, they welcomed me into their groups like, hey, come on in. We need a wizard. We're playing this game. It's like, you gotta play this. And let me tell you something. That was awesome. That was really great. And that was what certainly made my day. And I'll tell you the story about the first time I ever played an RPG. It was on Free RPG Day. And I can't remember off the top of my head what the name of this RPG was. It wasn't Dungeons and Dragons. I think it was like Castles and something or other, basically. But it was very much D&D inspired. And this was my actual I'm gonna hold this up really here. You guys probably see it better on my Twitter feed, but this is my actual RPG, my first ever RPG character page. Because of this, because the way the game was designed as it was, we kind of had to be given out pre-made for the most part things. We only had to roll for a couple of specific things, but yeah, I got some. I picked up a wizard because I wanted to play as a wizard. Everybody else was mostly playing as rogues. This was a game where rogues were basically the best. Rogues and thieves were like the best way to go at it. And so the majority of the group was rogues. I was the only wizard, and there was at least one or two warriors basically that were playing. And the funny thing is that one of our warriors was actually pretty smart. And at least one or two of our thieves were, at least from the intelligence, I'm talking about the intelligence stat. Mine was pretty high, but I had terrible rolls on intelligence every time. We had a warrior whose intelligence was not much lower than mine, but he kept getting good rolls, and so he was like, we called him the Mensa level warrior for the game. But anyways, this is what had to happen. This is what happened. We're playing this module where where it was like me and like 4 or 5 other players basically were. It was like, think of like a, how do I put this? Ocean's 11, but D&D inspired. Like a D&D version of Ocean's 11. And we're trying to break into this vault during a party that a rich guy is throwing in because we're looking for this key. And so immediately when the module started, we're immediately accosted by like 4 guards. And this became kind of like I have sleep on my character set. That my character knows sleep. And so I know what sleep is, obviously. I figured I could cast sleep. And so we had the rule book, thankfully. We had the extended rule book, so we were able to look at exactly what my spells did. And so I'm like, I cast sleep! And I actually saved like 2 of the guys. I at least knocked one of them out. I saved at least one of my guys. And I just kept casting sleep. Apparently the rules of this game is there's no spell burn. So if I cast a spell, I can still recast it as long as I don't botch the roll, basically. And since I had a d20 plus 3 on my spells, I would have had to have rolled a 1 on my d20, and it would have had to have had a minus 3 penalty, basically, for me to lose a spell, and it botched that bad, or at least risk losing a spell. So my spells could be reused. And so I'm rolling spells. I put them to sleep. We put them to sleep. The rest of my group just kills them while they're asleep. That was great. And we find this vault. Well, one of our guys tries to pick the lock. He picks the lock. The lock opens. There's like 5 panthers in there. So we open up a vault where there's like 5 panthers. One of our guys the guy opening the door gets jumped. It was great. Gets jumped by one of the panthers. So I'm like, I cast sleep. I knocked 2 of them out. The actual guy gets a good saving throw, basically. The guy getting mauled. He actually is able to kill the panther that's mauling him before he dies, although he took damage. Which is good. Thankfully, he didn't die, thankfully, because none of us had any potions or healers. Basically. There were no healers in the group. My spells were limited to just either distractions, sleep. I had to touch I had like the chill touch, which is kind of like the Grim Reaper's touch of death. But that was basically it. And I had a mending spell. Unfortunately, that doesn't work for healing. So we're going through this, and finally we get through all of the panthers, and we come across this door, which looks very enchanted, actually. Again, I try to look at it, and unfortunately I don't roll a very good, intelligence roll. So the guy's like, alright, I'm going to pick this lock. He tries to pick the lock, he rolls, the door bursts into flames. I'm serious, the door actually bursts into flames. So we're like, throw water on it? Is there any water? Because he had no idea what to do. The door is in flames. So we threw a bucket of stagnant water in there. And that put it down a little bit. So then we're trying to crawl around and see if we can figure out. We find where the kitchen where the cats were being fed. Thankfully there was nobody in it. Trying to get some water on it, and that didn't do it. We're going for like 5 minutes trying to figure out, well, how do we kill this door? And I think that I'm trying to roll, again, I'm failing my intelligence check, so I can't come up with anything. Plus, I don't know the game that well, and I'm the only wizard. Finally, I think somebody finally says, Wizard, roll a mending spell, and let's see what happens, because we got nothing else. Maybe the mending spell might work on the door. So I roll a mending spell with my +3, we pass it, the door finally opens. I had no idea. I was the only guy that could have opened the door at this point. I had no idea I could do it. We get it, We find the boat, we find what we're looking for, and so I'm thinking, okay, great, we're done. You guys are like, we want more. We want to figure out who's hosting this party. We're going to shove this key up his nose, and we're going to figure out what this key says and what we have to do. And I'm like, this is a really bad idea, but I'll go with the group if the group wants to do this. And so the group is like, great, wonderful. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take the clothes off the guards and bury their body in the kitty litter, because the pumas have been left in kitty litter, basically, big piles. And we'll bury the bodies in the kitty litter. And we'll pretend we're guards. We'll go up to the party. We'll try to sneak around and see if we can get the guy who's hosting the party along. And I'm just like, this is a very bad plan, but I go with it. We only have 4 uniforms, so one of the guys pretends to be a prisoner. It wasn't me. I said, no, I'm going to be a guard no matter what, because I'm not going to risk being a prisoner. And I played this game very cautiously. I didn't take any damage. I didn't take any risks either. Anyways, we go up to the party. I was surprised that the module kept going, but it did. So we go up to the party, and immediately the DM threw us a curve and said that 2 of the people at the party recognized us, that we weren't guards, knew that we were thieves. There were 2 other thieves, basically. And they were saying, why didn't you tell us you were, they're drunk. Why didn't you tell us you're doing a heist tonight? And I'm like, we boned. We boned. I'm like, we're boned. So I'm like, I can't sleep. I'm thinking like maybe I could underhand it kind of thing, because I didn't know exactly what the rules were for visibility of this type of spell. I figured if I cast sleep, maybe I can make it look like, oh, they just passed out drunk or something. So the DM allows it, actually, and I'm able to take down 2 of them. The problem is that there's at least 4, and now apparently everybody had seen a wizard kind of do a spell. You can't really pull off that. It's like apparently color and light and stuff like that happens, even for a small spell like a sleep spell in this universe. You're gonna be lit up like a Christmas tree, basically Captain EO, basically kind of thing. And I was wrong about that. I accidentally compared myself to Ziggy Star. Apparently, no, I was thinking of Captain EO. But anyways. That aside, one of the guys again says, "What's going on?" Finally, we're all kind of we're on pause at this point, like, "What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?" And so I think at one point the DM kind of forced the hand and said that the owner of the place that we just stole from recognized us, or basically said, "Something is going on. What's going on here?" So I think I was the one who said, after like a good minute or 2, "Bail." I looked at everybody and I said, "Bail," and everybody looked at me and like, "Bail, bail." So the whole group basically went like this: bail, bail, bail. The DM is like, "Hey, you snuck out, you made it." Everybody had their, we all got some good loot. We got some good loot. We found plenty of good loot down there. I was fine. We split it up pretty evenly. We're all good. And that's how the module ended. I have no idea if anybody got there any further or did any better. But that was the module, and that's what I played. And I won a raffle. I was playing. I got this unique 6-sided dice. I'm really happy that I picked this up. Really excited about the Valiant Universe book. Certainly, I picked up, and I brought home my first ever character sheet. So, thank you, Friendly Neighborhood Tabletop Shop, for participating in the event. Their website is tabletop-shop.com. It goes direct to a Facebook. To their official Facebook, but it is their actual website. Awesome place, awesome event. Hope they participate next year for a free RPG day, because this is for a newbie who's never played before. I can't, it was such a cool event. Had a lot of fun that day. So props to everybody, and props to the organizers for free RPG day for hosting this. Their website is freerpgday.com. And hope to see you guys there next year. Hope to maybe next year I'll actually have some people to come with me. So that's my talk about this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I want to hear your comments and like it if you like it. Till next time, guys, my name is Maniac with GameAccess.net. Take care. Over and out.